Attention passionate San Francisco 49ers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on San Francisco 49ers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true San Francisco 49ers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and San Francisco 49ers fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, what if I told you that a potential trade is brewing that could seriously shake up the NFC West? That the San Francisco 49ers, a team known for their innovative offense, solid defense, and relentless pursuit of excellence, might be about to make a bold move that could redefine their quarterback situation. And it all centers around a young, talented quarterback currently in a less prominent position in the NFL, Shedeur Sanders. Yes, you heard right. The buzz is growing, and it's coming from some pretty reputable sources, including well-known NFL analysts and insiders like Grant Cohn. So let's dive deep into what's happening, what this could mean for the 49ers, and what kind of player Shedeur Sanders is, especially after his impressive preseason showing with the Cleveland Browns. First, let's set the scene. The 49ers have always been a team that values versatility, talent, and a bit of mystery when it comes to their roster moves. Over the past few weeks, there's been a noticeable shakeup in their quarterback room. They released Carter Bradley and Tanner Mordecai, which was quite a surprise for many fans, especially considering their depth at the position. The move signals that the team might be eyeing someone they see as a future star, someone who can bring a different dimension to the offense. And that's where Shedeur Sanders comes into the picture. Now, Shedeur Sanders is currently third in the Cleveland Browns quarterback hierarchy, behind Joe Flacco, a seasoned veteran, and Dillon Gabriel, a promising rookie. Despite not being a starter or even the backup in Cleveland, Sanders has been turning heads during the preseason. He's been showing flashes of potential that make NFL scouts and analysts sit up and take notice. In his first preseason game, he scored 2 touchdowns, which is no small feat for a young quarterback trying to get his footing in the league. His performance in that game drew a lot of praise, with many saying he looked confident, capable, and ready to take on NFL defenses, at least in a limited sample. But here's the interesting part. Sanders didn't play much in the subsequent preseason games. He was kept on the sidelines, which many interpreted as a sign that Cleveland was perhaps grooming him for a move, or maybe they simply wanted to see more from the veteran and rookie. However, after the preseason finale, the Browns made some significant roster moves, releasing Tyler Huntley and trading away Kenny Pickett. These moves immediately shifted the backup quarterback landscape. Dillon Gabriel was elevated to the backup role behind Flacco, leaving Sanders somewhat in limbo. So, what's the big deal? Well, the fact that the 49ers are rumored to be interested in trading for Shedeur Sanders suggests they see something special in him. Grant Cohn, a well-respected NFL insider, tweeted that the 49ers are going to trade for Shedeur Sanders, aren't they? That's not a small statement. It indicates that the 49ers front office might be considering adding a young, dynamic quarterback to their roster, someone who could develop behind their established stars and maybe even challenge for a starting role in the future. Now, let's talk about the player himself. Shedeur Sanders is the son of the legendary Deion Sanders, and he's been making a name for himself at Colorado before transferring to the NFL. His college career was impressive, and his preseason displays with Cleveland have only added fuel to the fire. He's shown mobility, a good arm, and the ability to make plays under pressure, all qualities that any NFL team would covet. Despite his current NFL status, many believe that Sanders has the talent and work ethic to develop into a solid starter down the line. His talent isn't just hype, he's got the tools, and if given the right environment, he could thrive. Of course, the NFL is a different beast. The jump from college to the pros is huge, and not every talented college quarterback makes it. But the good news for Sanders is that he's got a strong arm, good decision-making skills, and most importantly, the right mindset. His father, Deion Sanders, has been very vocal about his belief in his son's potential. In recent interviews, Deion expressed confidence that both Shedeur and his brother, Shedeur Sanders, will do well, whether or not they continue in football. That kind of support from a Hall of Famer and one of the most charismatic figures in NFL history speaks volumes. Now, back to the 49ers. They've always been a team that values depth, versatility, and special talents. If they do pull the trigger on a trade for Sanders, it would be a move that shows they're looking toward the future while maintaining their championship window. A young quarterback like Shedeur could learn behind Brock Purdy and Trey Lance, absorbing the playbook, understanding the NFL game, and developing into a potential long-term solution. Or, if he impresses early on, he could even challenge for the starting spot sooner than expected. But let's remember, this is all speculation for now. The NFL trade deadline is still some weeks away, and teams are always cautious about making bold moves. Still, the signs are there. The roster shakeup, the interest from the 49ers, and Sanders' preseason performance all point to a possible future where he ends up in San Francisco. And honestly, it would be a fascinating addition, especially considering the team's recent Super Bowl appearances and their relentless pursuit of excellence. They've built a roster that's capable of winning now, but they're also always thinking long-term, always looking for the next piece to keep them at the top. What makes this story even more compelling is the backdrop of Deion Sanders' influence. You see, Deion has been a huge advocate for his son, and his recent comments about the future of Shedeur and Shiloh show that he's confident they'll succeed, regardless of NFL outcome. That kind of family support, combined with Shedeur's talent, could be the X factor that convinces the 49ers to make a move. Imagine a quarterback room with Brock Purdy, Trey Lance, and Shedeur Sanders. That's a dynamic that could set up the team for even more success in the coming years. Now, I know many of you are probably asking, but what about the current roster? Will Shedeur really get a shot? Well, that's the big question. The NFL is all about opportunity, and if the 49ers see a young quarterback with potential, they might be willing to take that risk. Remember, teams like the 49ers have a history of making bold moves, especially when it comes to building a championship-caliber roster. They've done it before with trades, drafts, and free agency, and adding a player like Sanders could be just the next step. Of course, nothing is set in stone. We'll have to see if the trade rumors turn into something concrete, or if the 49ers decide to stick with their current quarterbacks for now. But one thing is for sure, the NFL offseason and preseason are full of surprises, and this story is just getting started. As a 49ers fan, you should be excited about the possibility of bringing in a young talent with the potential to be a star. It's a move that could pay dividends not just this season, but for years to come. And let's not forget, the NFL is a league where the difference between a good team and a great team often comes down to the quarterback position. The 49ers have seen that firsthand with Brock Purdy's rise last season, and adding someone like Shedeur Sanders could give them even more options, more flexibility, and more firepower. Whether he's a future starter or a valuable backup, his presence in the locker room and on the field could be a game changer. So fans, what do you think? Is this a smart move for the 49ers? Do you believe Shedeur Sanders has what it takes to succeed in the NFL, or is this just another rumor that will fizzle out? Whatever your thoughts, I want to hear from you in the comments below. Your opinion really matters to us and to the future of the San Francisco 49ers. Make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed this deep dive, because it helps the channel grow and keeps these updates coming. And don't forget to subscribe to stay ahead of all the latest news and insights about your favorite team, because I'll be back soon with more breaking stories, analysis, and everything you need to stay in the know about the San Francisco 49ers. And now, San Francisco 49ers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest San Francisco 49ers news.